Hey miners, are you ready for some crypto coaching? Great. I'm here to talk a little bit about payout fees and thresholds with Prohashing. I know that fees can get confusing sometimes when mining with pools. Often, pools will advertise higher payouts, but then they'll pass down transaction fees to the customer or charge withdrawal fees when you want to move your payout balance to your wallet so that you can spend your money or let it grow in a safe location. These add-ons can make it difficult to keep track of how much you'll actually be paid in the end, and the last-minute fees can cut into the profits you thought you were going to receive. We understand how frustrating this process can be and how important it is for a mining pool to be transparent about what happens with your money. Let's take a look at the process your earnings undergo for you to receive a payout coin of your choice. One of the benefits of mining with Prohashing is that you're able to mine one coin and get paid out in another. This is super convenient for you as the customer, but it's a complicated process behind the scenes. We don't always have the exact number of the specific type of coin on hand that's needed to cover all of the payouts requested in that coin. It's also not always possible to exchange one coin directly for another. For example, if we found more blocks than expected of Shiba Inu and you want to get paid out in Ether, we can't simply exchange Shiba Inu for Ether because there's no Shiba Inu to Ether market. We first have to send the Shiba Inu that we do have to an exchange, and this transaction costs a transaction fee. These fees can fluctuate, as I can show you in the Block Explorer, and recently we've seen anywhere from lower fees in the $2 to $3 range to higher fees in the $9 to $14 range. The first example I have to show you was today, this morning, and it cost $9.86 worth of ETH to send. But I found a second example that took place within 40 minutes of this first transaction, and it was up to $14. So as you can see, these transaction fees can raise and drop quite rapidly. We've seen transaction fees as high as $20, $40, even in the $60 range. And this can have a huge impact on how much it costs to send coins on the network. Once we've sent the Shiba Inu to the exchange, we then have to exchange the Shiba Inu for Tether. This costs a trade fee of about 0.3%. Then we have to exchange the Tether for the Ether that we need, and here we have to pay another trade fee of around 0.3%. Now we have the Ether we need to pay out customers who've set it in their payout proportions. Generally, exchanges charge a withdrawal fee, which covers the transaction fee to create a transaction on the blockchain, but also includes a sizable profit for the exchange. Then the exchange pays the transaction fee to create a transaction to send the Ether to Prohashing's wallet. Finally, we need to send the Ether we've acquired to the customers who've requested it. This again will cost a transaction fee. As I showed you earlier using the Block Explorer, transaction fees fluctuate quite rapidly sometimes, and it can cost as much as $60 or more to send coins on the network. What's important for you to know is that all those fees I've listed so far are being paid by Prohashing, not the customers. We take a 4% mining fee, but the transaction fees, the trade fees, the withdrawal fees that are involved in moving coins around so that we can pay out customers in the coins of their choosing come out of that 4%. We're okay eating the cost of the fees, but we do try to keep the fees to no more than 1/8 of our 4% pool fee so we can have the profit left over to be able to provide better service. This means doing things like paying employees' salaries so that we can maintain the services we already have and continue adding new features, algorithms, or servers to our pool. So my twins thank you for the Pokemon cards and ramen noodles that I am going to continue to be able to buy with my salary. It's also important to know that we try to group our payouts in batches as much as possible. While this reduces the number of payouts in a day and lengthens the amount of time between payouts a little bit, it also minimizes the amount of fees we need to pay, in turn reducing the cost that would be passed down to the customer. I will go into more on this concept in the next video on payout timing, which will be linked in the details below and in the card up above. The big reason we're able to offer free payouts is because of the free payout thresholds on each coin. The free payout thresholds are set to 2 times the transaction fee. Setting the required earning balances to pay out any lower can cost even more fees, which would then have to be passed down to the customers. Then, at that point, if the earnings balance were low enough, the fees could actually take up all of or more than what you could have been getting paid out. You could be left with dust, which is any amount lower than the transaction fee, and you could even end up with a negative balance after the fees. This is why it's important to keep your payout threshold set at or above the free payout threshold listed on each coin. We talked about a lot today. We learned the process Prohashing goes through to pay you out in the coin of your choice and how that can get a little complicated sometimes. We talked about what fees Prohashing pays leading up to paying you in the coin of your choice, and we talked about what fees you as the customer are not responsible for as a result. We discussed why free payout thresholds are set where they are, and what happens if you lower your payout threshold below the free payout threshold. It's important to understand how fees work when mining with a pool, so I hope this tutorial helped. Keep an eye out for my next video. I'll be talking about the timing of payouts and how that works with Prohashing. And if you find our videos helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, miners.